So, what's something security teams worry about that employees almost never think about?
Teams, they mostly think about maintaining a proper database of all the users, completely monitoring who's logging in, who's logging out. Whereas the users, they only think about, do I have access to that application? So you can see the thought process is completely different.
Yeah,
The security team thinks of who is trying to access what, are they able to try to access that correctly, whereas the users are thinking only about, do I have access? So users do not think about what is happening in the background, and that is where security teams lose their sleep too.
so talking about security teams, right? So, why do former employee accounts give security teams nightmares?
Just like I said, imagine an employee was there with you for 4 years. How many applications they will have access to? How many accesses they might have? And they might just move from one team to another, or they might leave your organization today,
Correct.
and then they still have some of the accesses left. It's a manual caricature which is just waiting to get breached. These adversaries, just like I said, they do not wait for time. They do not keep on waiting. They are time bound.
Yeah.
They find that an employee has left, but this is open still. Let me use that. Let me exploit that. So yes, that's what I feel, that any employee, if part of the organization has many accesses, once they leave, they should have an automated way of removing or revoking those accesses.
Got it. And still, I think, despite of that, I think shadow IT becomes another challenge, right?
Yes,
Which are being unaccounted today.
totally.
Um, if you could walk into every company, think that I give you these superpowers, where you can just walk through the walls, and if you could walk into every company tomorrow and fix one security habit, what would it be?
Identity. Why I tell that, people used to think identity to be an LDAP server, but that's not the case.
Yeah,
It's beyond that. It's authentication and authorization.
authorization.
So that is something I'll change.
Great. Uh, do you want that power?
Definitely, yes.
Um, Next question. Everyone talks about zero trust. I'm really fascinated with that word called zero trust. Right? When I heard this, I want to name the organization. This is Atlassian, right? When Atlassian started their cloud, they have their privacy policies, they have the data security related documentations, and where they clearly said, we have a zero trust policy. And it was really fascinating, for me to first understand the word. What is zero trust? Are you not trusting your employees? Is that what it means? But then they have nicely put that on their website. What does zero trust means, right? And I think that becomes paramount. So, so what does zero trust mean? I want to hear from you.
Well, zero trust, just like you said, yes, it has been a buzzword for quite some time. However, it is one of the core base on which tomorrow's networks can stand strong. Now, it means very simple. It means that never trust, always verify. It does not mean only never trust. It means once verification is done, then you should trust. So verify and then trust.
Can security actually make life easier, or are employees always going to hate it?
It makes your life simpler, much simpler. Imagine that you have 10 applications and you need to access all those applications. You need to do it securely, right? Now, let me give you an example of something which you can relate to. You want to check your banking account, that did your salary get deposited or how much was my spend? So, do you want to do it securely or in a very simple manner? You just type in the bank name, you get your login screen without even logging in, without even giving any credentials or biometrics, nothing. But similarly, the adversary can also do the same.
Yeah,
So, would you like that?
absolutely not. Yeah.
That's it. So you need to have controls in every place, but which always helps to keep a balance between the business and security, so that it does not spoil the experience but also makes you confident that I am accessing this application or this website in a very secured manner.
Let me bring in AI, right? I mean, we have used it a few times, but I think now I'm going more towards AI. So, how has artificial intelligence changed the conversations you're having with customers?
Completely. In fact, this is a new buzzword, right? So let's say that you create a prompt, and we all have used ChatGPTs, Claudes, Geminis, and everything.
Yeah.
And you create a prompt saying that you want to fly from Bangalore to Chennai, and you tell the prompt that book a flight, early morning flight. Now that agent, that AI agent is an agent, right? After all, it is
Yeah.
not you, but it is working on behalf of you. So it goes on, it finds all those different flights which are available, and then it goes ahead and books it. Would you like that? Definitely
No.
not. Because imagine that you want to book a flight of 7 a.m. or after that, and it books at 4 a.m. Can you reach Bangalore airport at 4 a.m.?
No.
So you don't want that to happen.
True.
So AI is changing the complete market, but along with making your life much more simpler, making things extremely like user friendly, it also brings in a large attack surface where anything can get wrong, and it does not need an external adversary to come and do something in your network. The agent itself can do a lot of things without your permission, because you have given that agent a lot of tasks, lot of workflows already written into it,
Yeah.
and that can be a huge security gap.
I totally understand, how important it is to not just put guardrails, but also try and secure those conversations with the AI agents. So, 5 years from now, what security challenge do you think everyone will be talking about and that we are barely discussing today?
That we're barely discussing today, I would say AI agent automation. Now, today, the AI agents do some workflows based on what we are telling it to do.
Correct.
Like, for example, it can look through all your email chain, it can summarize it, it can tell you. It can sit in your Zoom meeting and it can identify what are the components which we are talking about and then summarize and give you the points. However, 5 years down the line, it will be much more automated. Things will be something what you're watching in movies today, where your entire day will be scripted based on what an AI agent thinks and understands what you want. And then
Yeah.
it will start giving you recommendations, start taking decisions based on you, start doing tasks for you. So the 5 years down the line timeline, I would say would be something where a lot of automation will happen, where we interact with AIs much more.
Do you think there'll be more of an era where you just make those, signs with your fingers and eyeballs and then say, okay, log me in, right?
Absolutely.
Kind
In
of.
fact, did you see that there has been, new sunglasses in the
Oh,
market?
meta, yeah.
Do you think that is safe? No comments,
Yeah,
but that is what the world is moving towards. So
that's correct.
tomorrow, what happens 5 years down the line? I might be just, or you might be just talking to an AI here instead of me. I might be sitting in US and just talking to you over a podcast through an AI.
Or it can be a completely virtual podcast, you know.
Absolutely.
So the interviewer and interviewee both are AI, agentic AI bots, and having this nice conversation. So if someone listening remembers only one thing from this conversation, what should it be?
I would say security is important, and in fact, identity security is the most important. Because imagine if a person impersonates you, that is risky. If an AI agent impersonates you, that is even more risky. Just like how we said,
Yeah.
down the line, we might be two AI agents talking to each other. But that AI agent should be inclined to what you want to believe in, what you want to do, not on what the AI agent or somebody else wants to do.
Correct.
So, identity, I would say, and correctly guessing the identity, making sure that that identity is something which is verified, which is always monitored, that is something which I would love all of you to take forward from today's discussion.
Thank you. That was lovely. Next question. A lot of people are worried about AI replacing jobs. Should security teams be more worried about AI impersonating people instead?
Impersonating, definitely yes. Like I might say that okay, I have created an AI agent and which summarizes all my emails and then writes a note back to the a person whom I want to send an email. Now, if that AI agent is impersonating me, or if I just ask, like I told you, like if there is a flight tickets which needs to be booked,
Yeah.
imagine if the AI agent is not someone whom you have asked them to do an workflow, but someone who is impersonating you, who
Correct.
has said that, okay, now I am Girish and I will be booking this flight, and it might go ahead and book a flight of 10 lakhs INR.
Correct. Correct.
That is huge, right? Or it might book a flight for somebody else using your credit card.
Yeah.
So, impersonation is the most dangerous one.
Great. I think I was remembering an incident where we were kind of doing some R&D on Amazon's Alexa, and that's when I said, "Hey, why don't we build something which can automatically resolve tickets for me?" Right? For example, me saying, "Alexa, close ticket 123," right, and that's going to add a comment, and I could do that all by sitting myself next to an Alexa device, or anywhere in the world, talking to my Alexa on the phone. But then we realized that how are you going to bring in that security, right? Anybody can say that, okay, go and add a comment or go and book a ticket, right? I think that's where again the AI security or whether it's a human identity, how do you validate or verify them? I think that's getting important. We have spent years figuring out how to manage human identities. Now everyone's talking about AI agents. Are we heading toward a world where AI needs its own identity too?
Completely. And that's what we also focus on, because your AI agent is now an entity who is doing a lot of tasks for you, uses a lot of machine learning, uses a lot of algorithms to take decisions. And that decision can, like make or mar things. So you want your AI agent to always function depending on what you want. So I would say that AI agent definitely needs an identity, and it cannot be something where two machines are talking to each other without you knowing what they are talking. In fact, I had you must be remembering about that incident where there were two messengers, and they both machines they started talking to each other, developed a new language,
Yeah,
and then humans were not able to understand.
correct.
So, just like sci fi movies, the world will not be far from a huge sci if we cannot control the machines. And we have seen through evolution, the stronger species always stay and the weaker species perish.
Yes.
So, AI agents are now a species, I would say that. And if they become the stronger ones, we might perish. So, we have to be very careful.
Wow, that sounded like a Avatar movie. And then I also remember a conversation which I was having with my CXO friends, where we were talking about, yeah, we have to put some governance for the agentic AI, and people start saying that AI is now your teammate. So then I was saying, I think the next big business is to bring in an AI HR to manage those agentic AI bots. You also need an agentic HR, who's going to control and put some guardrails for those bots.
You're
That was
not
funny.
wrong. In fact, one of the customers used the same analogy and they said, what I might need is a governor for me, someone who can manage all my AI agents. You're spot on.
Great. Uh, Next question. What's more likely to keep security leaders awake at night? Employees using AI tools or AI tools acting on behalf of employees?
Definitely AI tools acting on behalf of employees. See, if I am using AI agent and I might just like leak some data loss might happen. I might just, by mistake, I might just put some information on one of the tools and ask that, can you help me write an email on that? That can be. However, if it starts impersonating me, that can not only be data loss, but it can be, it can bring down business. It can impact the strategies of companies. It can understand what databases are there. It can understand the different, like if there is any important information, if there is any kind of, IP information, or what is the next research being done, or what is the next product being done. Imagine your competitor knowing about your products before you.
Yeah, true, true.
So that's what we are talking about today.
That's great. Imagine we have this conversation 3 years from now. What role do you think AI will play in how we log in, authenticate, and prove who we are online?
AI agents will do a lot. AI agents will, in fact, make sure that the right work is being done. Just like you said, we need an AI HR. So it might go somewhere towards that. That we might have, just like how we are using 10, 20 applications today. We might be using 10, 20 different AI agents working
Agents.
for us. Find me the next flight tickets. Find me the next best place to go for a gym. Find me the best hotels. Find me the best like clothes. Where should I buy?
True.
Everything. So that is what we will be talking about in the next 3 years for sure.
Yeah, I think I want to just add on to what you were saying, right? The agents, who can help you, beside you. I want to mention Atlassian, right? I mean, we're talking about Jira Service Management, where Atlassian has also pioneered how you can assign these incidents to these agents, where these agents can go and auto resolve these incidents for you, then also produce post incident reviews and everything. And it does not need any human intervention, right? I mean, that's the scale of using artificial intelligence that we are talking about today, right? So that also fascinates to me what's going to come 3 years down the line. So we are at the last segment of this podcast. So if you have got 30 seconds to convince someone to turn on multi-factor authentication, what's your pitch?
I would actually tell about an incident which I myself faced. So we were vacationing in a particular country in Africa, Kenya, and we were mugged. Our phone was stolen. Now, without multi-factor authentication, the person can very easily log into that phone. Very luckily, that phone was connected to the laptop, and so the moment they are trying to log in, I am getting the notification. I know that someone is trying to access it. I know where to put the blocks. I know what to take. Now, if I have to tell you that if you want to be secure, you have to make sure that your MFA is always on point. And it's not only a normal OTP. It has to be an intelligent one. It has to identify where your device is, where your location is, what is your behavior. And based on that, it should take that decision. So if I could save my data in my phone using MFA, I'm sure everyone can do that.
Great. And that was our time today with Moumita Das, and she is from Okta. And it was lovely having you here in our studio, Moumita. And we wish these conversations will certainly help our viewers and subscribers to get more insights on the identity security, right? So until then, have a great day, and thanks for coming.
Thank you, Girish.